All right, I got another one for you guys. This comes from Bounding Into Comics. Ubisoft indefinitely delays Zoomer shooter XDefiant in order to address inconsistencies in the game experience. So I guess the hotly anticipated XDefiant has been put on delay indefinitely, and a lot of people are upset about this because it was very, very highly anticipated based on its Zoomer shooter methodology, its Zoomer shooter mechanics, that very manic gameplay style that seems to be very popular with younger shooter players these days. And yeah, I wanted to actually kind of talk about that towards the end of the video, about drawing some parallels to the old school first person shooter methodology too. But I'll talk about that in a minute. Let's just get into the news here. So it sounds like the balance issues that they're trying to fix here are probably to do with this faction system they're using. So if you don't know, XDefiant, instead of using classes, it use factions, where it's basically based on different Ubisoft properties, including, for example, the Cleaners from The Division, DedSec from Watch Dogs, Echelon from Splinter Cell, Libertad from Far Cry, and the Phantoms from Ghost Recon. So I guess you can play as each of these factions, and they have different weapons, different loadouts, different themes, and just an overall different stylistic approach, and getting those balances right, I guess, has probably been a challenge. Also, to relate to this, there's been an awful lot of stuff going on in Ubisoft, like, for example, my previous video where they were shutting down some of these old online services for some of the older games. So they may be running into financial straits, dire straits, trying to fund the development of this game. Might have had to cut some roles in the company and in the team, and so that's going to take longer to balance those things out than they probably anticipated. That's just speculation on my part, but based on what I've seen with Ubisoft over the past few months, they do seem to be kind of tightening their belt, getting things lean and mean compared to how they've been operating over the previous years, and this could be something to that effect. But again, I mean, this is a free-to-play Zoomer shooter, kind of trying to tap into that market that Fortnite is so completely owned over the past few years. A lot of companies are trying to do that. I mean, obviously, Bungie was trying to do that with Marathon. There's a few others that are trying to do the same thing, and kind of dethrone the Fortnite king and take some of that market share over. And I think this is one of those attempts. Given the way that it's kind of architected, and getting that balance right, getting that play style feel right, definitely would help them, and putting it on delay is probably a smart move, just to make sure that this works well. And again, another thing with Ubisoft, just here a related rumor: while Skull and Bones remains in limbo, Ubisoft Singapore beginning work on Assassin's Creed Black Flag remake. So they're going for the remake there, which is an easier target. And Skull and Bones, yeah, who knows where that is. So these things are happening at Ubisoft, and it does sound like they're making a true, genuine effort towards getting XDefiant out and getting it right. So hopefully it'll be good, and we'll have to wait and see. Now more on to the comparisons I wanted to draw here. So back in the day, and I'm dating myself here, but we used to play Quake and Unreal, and it was all very fast paced. There was some Korean first/third person shooters that we were all big into, and it was very manic, and just seeing some of this gameplay here, just seeing how they play these games. First of all, I think the old school players, if the mechanics are going to allow for it, the old school players who knew how to, bob and weave and orbit, would probably own all these people. But yeah, let's just forget that for a moment. But yeah, this is very reminiscent of those kind of days, where you would be jumping and dodging and strafing and really hauling around trying to outmaneuver your opponent. And it definitely seems like that's kind of making a comeback in these kind of Zoomer shooter style FPSs. But yeah, it's interesting to see. And I mean, maybe I'm the old fart here. Maybe I'm out of date. But yeah, that definitely looks like it to me. And I would be really interested to see how this plays out, because it seems like there's a bit of a resurgence going on. It's too bad Epic didn't keep on the Unreal Tournament train, because they were doing that not too very long ago, and they shut that project down. And that new Unreal Tournament that they had in beta looked really freaking good. Some of the newer game modes I wasn't a huge fan of, but some of that classic stuff, I mean, seeing Facing Worlds with modern graphics, yeah, it's always nice to see that. Anyway, that's what I got for you guys today. Hopefully you're not taking it too bad that XDefiant is on indefinite hiatus, but hopefully it'll be back and in a launch state soon enough. But let me know what you guys think in the comments. If you like these kind of videos, subscribe to the channel, and I will talk to you guys later.